Hey, welcome to my talks about classic styles. If this is your first time joining me, I'm Julie Lampy, the owner and designer at Paradigm Interiors. And tonight I am going to talk a little bit about coastal style. And coastal style is one of those styles that people either love it or they hate it. And there's some really strong feelings about it. If you have a love for the beach and for coastal areas, wetlands, if you're like me and a native of Florida and sixth generation Floridian, the coast and the water definitely have some really personal ties for me. And so I love a coastal look. And, there's a lot of confusion because we've all been to a beach house before, or seen a beach house, a condo, that was just full of, nautical and marine life and, beachy tchotchkes and seashells and seahorses and mermaids and fishnets and lighthouses. And, that's really something that most people don't like about a coastal look. And, it's important to distinguish that from what I'm talking about, which is a classic look with some coastal elements. So tonight I'm going to give you some inspiration images to kind of show you what I'm talking about, the coastal look that you want to achieve if you really want to bring that coastal look home. And a few tips, just a few quick tips on how to get that look that you want without creating that sort of tacky, Barnacle Bill's sort of seafood restaurant, your grandmother's coastal beach condo look. So first, let me share my screen and we're going to look at some images, and we're just kind of look at some of the common things that we see in some of these. Now I'm going to, let me make sure. Okay, I am sharing. I am going to my Pinterest board that I've saved here. This one is really pretty. And, even for some people who aren't crazy about a coastal look, this might be a little bit much, mainly because of the mirror that has the rope. If you just switch that out for a silver framed mirror, or even a wood, kind of a driftwood look mirror, it might be a little less kitschy and a little more subtle coastal look using those textures. But you can see that gorgeous, rich grass cloth wallpaper in the background and that really cool picture that's behind the toilet on the wall. And then just the colors, the white, the marble, the natural, the navy blue, those things all really give that nod to a coastal look. So same thing with this bathroom. You've got, there's absolutely nothing particularly coastal about that, except for, you've got the stripes, and the color palette is, a little bit more coastal than not. And this one I love. One of my favorite designers that I follow on Instagram, he has an amazing Instagram account. So funny. Again, it's subtle here. He's in Jacksonville, and he does a lot of coastal looks, but this is very subtle. So you've got the image of the water with the clouds, but really nothing else is particularly beachy in this, but it still gives that overall feeling of sort of this classic coastal look to it. Here's another one that, they're using some interesting materials like this teak wood table that's been cut into a block, and then the sisal rug. And then, you know, we've got these water birds here in the background, but you've got a blue and orange palette, which, you know, are coastal colors. You know, you still have those corals that you would find as a natural kind of coastal look. You got a little palm frond in the background there, but it just has that little bit of a nod to the water, you know, perhaps even a lake or a river, not necessarily beach. But if you go through on this Pinterest board that I have that is called Classic Coastal, you can see a lot of really great examples of how people have brought in that subtle look. So here's another kind of classic coastal look with the, you know, neutral French pleated drapes and the natural fiber or bamboo style Roman shade on the windows. So you've got that layered look. And then you've got this rattan wingback chair, some stripes, again, with the blue and the white colors, definitely give that nod to a coastal look without it being in your face. And you'll notice through most of these pictures, the theme is subtlety. So if you can guess, now I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to go back, and my first tip for you is subtle. So if you like a coastal look and you want to put something together that's classic and that's not like in your face beach condo, then go subtle with that. Keep things at a minimum. My second recommendation is, you know, allow then and rely on the natural textures and the colors to tell the story. So in a lot of those, you saw the blue and white combinations. Another great combination for a coastal look is kind of that seafoam green and spa blue. So maybe not the deep saturated navy blues, but more muted tones, those watercolors that you see. You can even find some soft corals and peach tones that kind of speak to that coastal like shells look, beiges, white, natural fibers like jute and sisal, grass cloth, the rattan furniture definitely speaks to that. Linen definitely and canvas have that coastal feel to them because that it's a reminder of like sails and boating and the types of clothing that you would wear in the summertime. And then my last tip for you to keep things from being, you know, beach condo looking is stick to just one or two motifs that you're going to use in your decor. And what I mean by that is if you want to use more nautical themes like boats or lighthouses, you know, stick with kind of one or two things there like marine life and maybe boats. Don't go, you know, mermaids and ropes and anchors and lighthouses and, you know, marine life and seashells and all of that stuff can be overkill and can lead to something that is definitely more beach shop or beach condo looking. You know, we've all been into the beach and you just go walk into one of the beach shops and you see like a plethora of all this, you know, coastal stuff, seashells and, you know, lighthouses and mermaids and nets. I keep thinking of this place that I love to go at Anna Maria Island called Jeannie and Janie's. And it has a little shop in the front and there's all this like mermaid and, you know, it's very beach shoppy in there. So you want to try to avoid things like that and stick to just one or two motifs. But, you know, when you use the natural, you know, whites and neutrals as your kind of foundation, all those natural fibers, that will definitely lend more of a classic look. So those are my 3 tips. Keep it subtle. Rely on the natural textures and your color to tell the story of coastal rather than all of the decorative items. Yes, add in some art, add in some decorative items, but you may want to keep it to a, one or two motifs. So in my own home, I do have a coastal look. I have an eclectic look, but there's a lot of coastal in that very eclectic look that I have. And my two motifs are water birds. So I have a lot of art, not a lot of art, but a few pieces of art that have water birds. And then I also have a handful of pieces of coral or shells or rocks, things that we've actually found on the beach and brought home with us that were really nice. And a couple of things that I, bought at an accessory store. But that's how I keep the coastal look a little more subtle in my house so that it's not in your face at this is a coastal style. So I hope you enjoyed that. Next week, we'll be doing the very last one, which is classic transitional style. If you want to learn more about these classic decorating styles that I've kind of defined, make sure you download a copy of my cohesive style guide. When you go and download that, you will sign up for my email list, and you'll receive some emails right away that are going to help you really dig into the magazine that you've downloaded to learn more about what is your style and how to take that style and create a cohesive look in your house without going overboard. So we'll see you next week for Classic Transitional, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Have a good week.